6 p.m. December 2nd. We'll start with public hearings. Public hearing number 1. Is anybody here to speak to proposed local law relating to property tax levy authority? Call, come again. Anybody here to talk about the proposed local law relating to property tax levy authority? Last call. Public hearing number 1, proposed local law relating to property tax levy authority. Public hearing number 2, proposed 2026 city budget. Anybody here to speak to proposed 2026 city budget? Last call. Anybody here to propose 2026 city budget? Jade, anybody online raising their hand? Good.
No.
Public hearing number 3, proposed local law to allow the common council to set city fees, fines, penalties, and by resolution. Anybody here to speak to that? And second call, proposed local law to allow the common council to set city fines, fees, fines, and penalties by resolution. Last call, proposed local law to allow the common council to set city fees, fines, and penalties by resolution. Public hearing number 4, proposed local law to establish rental fire and safety inspection and rental certificate of compliance. I believe we do have somebody, Mr. Pace. If you could grab that microphone, that would be awesome.
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you for allowing public comment here. I had a couple of just very simple points of clarification and a suggestion. Let me start with the suggestion. I think, first of all, the proposed local law is very well written. It's very positive. It moves forward except for 2 sentences that I think under the purpose statement right on the second page. I think it can potentially get you into trouble. It states that in the city of Cortland, approximately 69% are residential owner occupied, 31% are rental properties. Over the past 5 years, approximately 29% of police, fire, code calls are attributed to owner occupied, while 71% are attributed to rentals. That's the sentence that got me. First of all, I don't think it's relevant in terms of the local law. I understand that they look at justification, but I think it sets a bad tone for what you intend. Language is really important. As a former school teacher, who worked with students on writing, I always tried to tell them that each sentence needs to advance your purpose, your goal, your thoughts. And my first initial reaction to that was, is it attributed to the building? Or are you targeting renters as the problem and labeling them as undesirables? Are renters less stable? Do they create more problems? I think that opens you up to potential discrimination claims and things. It also adds to the tone in the community. I can remember the discussions about Parker School and what people were saying in the neighborhood about potential rental property going in there. And it was all those same kinds of things. It was very negative, and I think it sets a bad tone for the community. We can change that by saying something much more positive that brings things forward. For example, what I came up with, the first sentence was fine, but what I came up with after that, over the past 5 years, to cancel that and write in something like this. The city of Cortland intends to require that rent for profit properties meet desirable safety standards expected of all properties for habitation. I think it's much more positive. It completes the rest of the document, and I think it sets the tone for why you're doing this. You don't need to point out problems in this. You're talking about a law that's supposed to change something. And I think that does a better job of it. And I'd like to see some change in those last couple of sentences and under purpose. Other than that, just a couple of simple questions here. It's my understanding after going over this, that self-certification is ending. Correct?
That's
Okay. and everyone needs to register their properties and be issued an occupancy permit, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And is it required to have a lease on file with the city? It kind of touched on that, but I wasn't sure. You know, I do a rent by month kind of thing, because it gives me more control over the tenant.
It's
Which is what-
recommended, so
Yeah.
that we could keep up with the tenants to hold them accountable, that's part of the. So you have to have an
Yeah.
active contract to show that they're engaged into that contract. Otherwise, the onus goes back on the property owner.
Yeah, I have exercised my right on that with, one tenant years ago, but most of the tenants have been outstanding. I help, take care of the property that St. Anthony's Church has on Pomeroy Street. We've been renting that for close to 30 years now, and we've never had any problems with tenants. They've been very good. So, you know, I think we gotta be careful about how we talk about renters. They do have a right to live somewhere, to have a safe home. I agree with that. And I think our language really needs to say that and focus on that. I'd be happy to give you what I wrote here afterwards if you want an example of it. Certainly you can change that if you want. And I do want to say that on the east end of town, that whole section of the city is anchored by owner occupied homes, 2 and 3 family homes. Some people have purchased homes in the neighborhood just to prevent out of town landlords from purchasing them and only collecting rent. It's been a very, very responsible area when it comes to that. I know many people that have done that, where they own several homes on the same street, just so they can control it. So they're on your side with this, okay? So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's warrants some clarification. The intent was to draw the attention that self-certification is not necessarily working all the time.
Right.
Because those areas of problems were the ones that were being self-certified.
Right.
But I agree with you, the language should be clearer.
Thank you.
And thanks for your input. All right, again, anybody else want to speak to the proposed local law to establish rental fire and safety inspections and rental certificates of compliance? Last call, anybody here to speak to the public hearing number 4, proposed local law to establish rental fire and safety inspection and rental certificate of compliance? All right, with that, we'll close the public hearings and we'll go to the call to order. Screamo.
Okay, Councilmember Merker is absent, Councilmember Sullivan is absent, and Councilmember Pinello is absent. Councilmember Lane. Here. Councilmember Conlon.
Here.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Here.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Present.
And Councilmember Michaels.
Here.
If all right, is still the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right here, let's speak privilege of the floor. Okay, finance report. Screamo.
All right, for the year-to-date summary, I just wanted to draw everybody's attention. We are still tracking well within our expenses in all 3 funds. Collections are ongoing. The late notices for the tax bills went out at the beginning of November, so we're still continuing to collect on that. And there are a number of payments that we're expecting in over the next month. We get several things in the month of December always. We get a sales tax payment, we get our AIM, we've got CHIPS reimbursements coming, so we've got a number of things coming in. So the negative number there does look dire, but it is not as bad as it looks. We're anticipating a number of chunks of revenue to come in and cover that. So what I wanted to kind of, with that, let everybody know that this year, we've managed to do better with our overall cash flow management. This year, we've worked a lot, with the staff to even that out so that we were able to continue, keeping up with our obligations, which we are doing right now. We aren't having any problems paying bills this year. We also were able to get a lot of our reimbursements back in this year, that had been out at the end of last year. So overall, our cash, management has been a little bit smoother this year, which is good. The state got, a lot better about reimbursing things. So this year we've been seeing a much quicker turnaround on our reimbursements when we send those out. So that's been very helpful. So overall, we're in a pretty good place for this year. I anticipate at the end of the year that we should close, predominantly even across the board for our funds. When they're looked at holistically, which is one of the things that the rating agencies were, wanting us to do. We are also, continuing to work on our 2024 audit. Because 23 closed out so late, and as you recall, that came to the council in July, which is well later than we would have liked, since they had reopened 21 and 22. 24 obviously got started much later than we would have preferred. We're working with the audit team on that right now. We had hoped to have it closed by the end of the year. With the holidays, I think we're gonna be pushing into the beginning of next year to be quite realistic. But we're close on that, and so far, so good. So a lot of the recommendations they had asked us for process, we've been able to put into place. So I think we'll be in a better place with that as well.
Just real quick,
Yeah.
so close the 24 out, 25, we'll hold 25 up, correct?
No, it
Get
will
that down
not.
and-
No, 25 will close the books on time. My goal in life here is to close out everything on 25, have our AFR filed on time, and have our audit for 25 started in May. That is my goal in life. I may be kicking and screaming to get there, but that is my goal, is to get us right back onto the track on a time frame we'd like to be, so that we're rolling through the year.
Going forward, and we get everything else
Yep.
done without lingering, and it
Exactly.
should be a lot smoother from here. forward.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I mean, when you're trying to catch up from behind, you're trying to do the work and catch up things from previous. It's a lot of lift. But we've been slogging through it for a while now in our department, and we're getting there.
Yep.
So that's been very helpful.
Thank you.
Yep, if you flip over on the other side, the proposed budget for 26 reflects everything that had been done prior. So as you're aware, with the option for the healthcare for retirees to choose between the MS3 and the Plan 4, we're waiting for the last of those elections to come in. Tomorrow is their deadline. We're actually doing better than that than I initially thought we would. We're seeing about 40% of the retirees take the Plan 4 and about 60% take the MS3, which is good overall. I was happy to see that. Obviously, I think they're both excellent options. I'm happy when people take the slightly less expensive one. But people seem to be understanding their options and making good choices for their own fit. So that's good to see. My goal is, once we have the final numbers on that, and for all our active and younger retirees onto the bronze plan, to make the adjustments to the budget and have a draft of what I'm gonna recommend as the adopted budget out to council by the end of the week. Along with that, I've been doing a deep dive into our what we think our HRA utilization is gonna be. I think my initial numbers were probably more conservative than they should have been. So I'm gonna we've asked for some data from the consortium on that. So we're making some adjustments there. And additionally, just so everybody's aware of everything that ties into the budget, all these public hearings that are on for next meeting, like the changes of the fee structures and whatnot too, all that ties into kind of where these budget estimates are. Now that we've got the fee structure completely laid out, we're gonna be looking at our revenue lines again and adjusting those where it's appropriate. So by the end of this week, I should have a better draft. I do still anticipate an additional a little bit of an increase beyond where we are at the 5%. I don't know exactly where that's gonna be right now. Roughly from what I'm looking at, I'm thinking 7 and maybe a little bit. I'm not 100% certain yet. So I will have it to you by the end of the week, with the best numbers I can get to. But just know that that's, all of these various things that have gone into that all kind of mesh, and that's how we get to these numbers. So that's all I have for now.
I have questions.
Go right ahead.
Just, Roughly, how many holdouts do we have at this point regarding the insurance, signing up?
They're not due until tomorrow, and I think we were under 24 left to get back. So. We're, but I know as the evening went on, we had faxes coming in and people emailing, so between that and Tuesday is typically a light mail day for us, so we expect to get the rest of the mail tomorrow. Yeah,
Question two,
yes,
cannabis revenue.
yes,
Heard very little on that at this point.
right, we just got a full quarter in, it came in at just under 30,000 for a full quarter. So the revenue, estimate for next year looks like that should be, solid,
Okay,
yeah.
Which that was a partial quarter, right? 'Cause they didn't
No,
open-
this one was a full
Was
quarter,
that after they opened in June?
yeah, this was July, August, September. That we just got it.
So they rolled that into the June they.
We've gotten 2 payments. The first one was only for like a couple days, and then the second one was a full quarter. Yeah, so. Mhm. Yeah, but we were hoping that was a good estimate on the revenue, and I'm confident that it is now, having seen that.
120,000 this stage strong for one business, pretty darn good.
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
you have a dozen, you said, couple dozen people you have not heard from.
Yeah, yes.
What happens if you don't hear from?
I promised to drive to their houses.
Yes, the mayor has
Yeah,
reached
yeah,
out,
yeah,
Christie and I have been reaching out, most people, even if we don't have their actual paperwork in, we've had calls as people have asked questions. So, our goal is by the end of the day tomorrow, if there are people, we'll have a list and we'll start calling them, and then the mayor's gonna be hopping in the truck and driving on.
Driving to North Carolina.
Yeah, no, people have been
I was
really,
gonna say, he said, I'll go to their house.
Yeah.
We don't have any airplane money in our budget.
yeah, and honestly, people have been very, very, helpful with that, and, so it's been quite good, and we've given them options to fax, to email, to mail, to whatever, carrier pigeon at this point, we'll take it anyway,
Do the numbers we're working with currently, do they reflect the increased borrowing and debt service with the Fitch downgrade, or are we?
so. No, because we have absolutely no way of knowing that, so we know what we're owing, like, we know what our current debt service is, the only thing that'll affect is come May. The ban that we have out, our plan is we're using the WIFIA very low interest rate loan to pay down a large portion of that ban, but the portion of that we roll will be affected by whatever our interest rate is at that time. Now, if we close out this year even, like we were supposed to, and we've got our audit in close to time, even if we're a little late, I will tap dance to my best ability when I talk to them, and hopefully they'll take a little mercy and maybe adjust our rate for us.
When will we have a better sense of that?
April. Yeah. Not fast, sorry.
Well,
You won't know that until you put it out the bid.
Right.
Yeah. But again, too, rates are dropping, it looks like, they've dropped, they may drop again from what they're saying, so that doesn't hurt us
It's
either,
about
right?
time to pay on that service.
Correct. So,
Anybody else?
thank you.
I thank you. All right, mayor's report. So I think we did a press release, but the city was awarded another $1 million CDBG block grant for another pumper truck. The fire department, that was on the 20th, and I attended the Smith School Intermediate. They have family bingo and community fair. Great turnout that night. It was good to do that. Of course, we had the tree lighting ceremony over here. Beckwith was there as well, and it was a blustery night, but it was great to have cookies with Santa, and it was a lot of fun for everybody that was there. Ongoing collaboration with the downtown businesses as we prepare for New Year's Eve and Midnight on Main. So remember, New Year's Eve is the new 11 to 1 on Main Street, but the X101 is going to be working on that to help with that countdown. Balloon drop, and it'll be a lot of fun. And Midnight on Main, of course, is I think performance by Studio Z, and the ball drop, the fireworks, food trucks, so that'll be fun as well. Prior to that will be the on the 16th of December, would be my Christmas party, and we're having it at the Vault this year at 7. So after our meeting on the 16th, we'll go over there, so the, staff and media are invited to that. The 14th is, menorah lighting ceremony at Courthouse Park, weather permitting at the fire station. That starts at 6, and, so that'll be exciting, I think it's their third or fourth menorah lighting. And then the 6th of December, the high school class of 6 is hosting a breakfast with Santa fundraiser at the Elks Lodge, so if anybody can go by there on Saturday from 8 to 10:45. And 12, the 5th, ATI is offering free gift wrapping services with an option to drop off their gifts and pick them up later at a time. And that is Friday on the 5th, I'm sorry, did I say the 6th? The 5th at 4 to 6. So again, they've been doing they had a nice meal there. I was unable to make it. That was good to have that as well. And it was good for those things to happen. So we got a lot of things happening in the next month. And I think it'll be good to have it figured out. Any questions on that? If not, we'll go to award reports and we start off with Miss Lane.
Hang on, I'm not used to going first. All's well in the fourth.
Thank you, Mr. Connell.
Wow.
Relatively quiet with the holiday. We do have a number of streetlights out on Main Street that have reported to DPW. So waiting for those to get addressed, but that formal report, I don't think was made until the 27th. So Thanksgiving, so probably back a couple of days. But
South Main.
yes,
Yeah,
there's
those big ones.
there's like 8 of them on that
There's
stretch.
one out in the corner of the Main Street. There one too. So.
I got the streetlight numbers, so you'll pass that along, but those were reported.
Thank you.
That'll do it.
Thank you. Mr. Gardner.
All quote at 6.
Thank you, Ms. Beckwith.
Just a couple quick things, Mr. Pace, thank you very much about your positives about the 7th ward, I know. You do a lot over there and it is a great community, or a great east side, I'm not saying that because that's my ward, but it is truly the people love each other over there, it's just great, I mean. I must say that, real quick, this Friday night at 6:30 in the Village of Homer is the hospice light of my life, I don't know. It's not a Homer thing, but I've been doing it for 30 years and somehow it ended up on the Homer Village Green, but it's open to everybody and, they'll accept donations, you can put your loved one's name on the plaque, I know Ollie's will be there and introducing Santa Claus and I'll be there to flip the switch. All goes well, it'll light up. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Michaels.
Well, I actually had the opportunity to attend the Youth Bureau's annual Thanksgiving dinner this year. And I also actually contributed to one of the dinner items, which is something I haven't done before. Was the Thanksgiving dinner without cranberry sauce. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how much to make, so I made 5 bags of the cranberry sauce, which yielded probably enough for more than those individuals that attended to that. But it was a nice dinner anyways, and we had roughly less than 80 people show up for that, so I was really surprised. I want to give special thanks for our youth services supervisor, Heather Johnson, as well as Matt Marcy, our youth services specialist for hosting this dinner every year. And it was certainly nice to see those kids run around and actually entertain themselves without much supervision per se. But it was nice. It was nice.
So Tom, really, did Cheryl make that or did you?
No, I actually did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in charge of 2 items, Thanksgiving every year. One's cranberry sauce and the other one's pumpkin pie.
With the kids, you had a better time shaking that stuff out of the can.
Yes, and we did provide, actually, the canned cranberry sauce went quick. Nobody likes the traditional sauce, I guess. But yeah, no, that was nice, thank you.
Glad you attended that. That was nice.
It was nice. They also have an annual Christmas dinner coming up too. I'll announce that at the next council meeting.
Perfect. All right, thank you. All right, with that, we'll go to approval of minutes. Anybody have any questions on minutes? Can I get a motion to move the minutes? Mr. Beckwith,
Second.
Mr. Mike, Scott, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Resolution. Agenda item number 1, authorize execution of collective bargaining agreement with the City of Portland Professional Firefighters Association, IAF, AAF, local T 727.
Resolved that the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Portland Professional Firefighters Association, IAAF Local 2737, and the City of Portland is hereby approved and ratified. And be it further resolved that Mayor Steve is hereby authorized to execute said collective bargaining agreement on behalf of the City of Portland with IAAF Local 2737 for a 5-year contractual term dated January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030.
Back with Mr. Carpenter. Just a couple of highlights. I think I'll just go through, everybody has this in their packet. I think it was in our agenda packet. So the term is for 5 years as mentioned. 3% each year of an increase. The health insurance, which they're working on, with the Bronze plan. Adjustment to sick days, standardization on holidays, which we're trying to get across globally. And the percentage of match on insurance is trying to get globally. Remove a municipal training officer from a captain position to a bargaining unit. Management battalion chief along with corresponding reduction in captains by 1 and increase firefighter by 1. Adjust how the uniform and gear provisions. Inclusion of salary enhancement for members with paramedics certification. Protective language for members leaving the union to accept a management position. Upon approval of the county council, will remain the same put that posted on the website as well. So, final, probably the approval here. Do we have any questions on that? I think everybody's got that in their packet. I appreciate the firefighters and their negotiation discussions. So certainly, we'll have 5 years to let somebody else deal with it. So with that, I'll move it, please. Just call the name.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon,
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item 2, authorize execution of collective bargaining agreement with the City of Cortland Police Benevolent Association Incorporated.
Resolved that the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Cortland Police Benevolent Association Incorporated and the City of Cortland is hereby approved and ratified, and be it further resolved that Mayor Steve is hereby authorized to execute said collective bargaining agreement on behalf of the City of Cortland with the PBA for a 5-year contractual term dated January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030.
So
Mr. Carpenter, I'm gonna give it to you first and then Mr. Beckler. Yeah, again, so the highlights here, again, 5-year term, ending at the same time. The wages to the first year market rate adjustment is the wages basically going through, looking at what Cortland County Sheriff's Department is, so that we're not getting a lateral transfer or losing members over that way. And then 3% every year after. Adjustment on the on-call detective rate, health insurance, and the switch to the bronze. Standardization of city holidays, which we discussed earlier, general language cleanup to remove the gender-specific pronouns. Inclusion of the MOU concerning the school resource officers in SRO. Inclusion of the MOU concerning canine officers, they were all done on MOUs before, now it's contract language. Protective language for members leaving the union to accept a management position. Upon approval by common council, this execution of the final documents will again will be posted on the website. Does anybody else have any questions on that? PD? Okay, call please.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Okay. Congratulations. Agenda item number 3, third amendment to the management plan of 2025.
Resolved that pay bands on Schedule A compensation and titles be updated as follows in accordance with the chart that is listed there. Resolved that the management plan section titled Health Insurance be amended as follows. I'll just summarize that basically to align it with the other contracts there going over to the bronze plan. Resolved that the management plan section titled Retirement Health Benefits be amended as follows. And that is to align with the change in the retirement plans to the option of the MS3 or the plan.
Can you explain the pay bands on that?
The pay bands, which were in the original plan, some of them because of percentage of increase has pushed to the top part of that pay band, so some of those pay bands were changed to allot that. And I believe there was some that were even lowered too,
Correct.
so that somebody, if somebody was moved to a different pay band, so they're more reflective to what we're at. And the health insurance, again, the amendment stays, the 20%, all that stays the same, it's just elected coverage, just basically explain the same health insurance plan that we just did with those other two union contracts. And then how the retirement health benefits works out is all part of the same. So that's the. Anybody else? Can I answer your question, Billy?
Yeah, just explaining the pay bands, what is it, like a pay band one, what is that?
Okay, so if you had the whole management plan in front of you, pay band, based on the grade of pay, so for example, the police chief and the fire chief might be in pay band 2, I think I'm right, no,
They're in one,
they're in 1, okay.
they're deputies.
Oh, I missed the page.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
the deputies would be 2, and then not necessarily, just because it's typically, actually, it's a cost of what the job is, so they move them from different pay bands.
So the range is 112 to 168. That what the range is, the range?
Yes,
Like a pay
correct,
band.
yeah, so that's the lowest that range can be
Okay.
and the highest that range can be.
Based
And
on,
if we have to change that range,
Right.
we did it by resolution, which is what this is, because the bands changed.
There's a listing actually in the management plan of which positions go into each band based on.
So if we ever add a position, rather than have a different column for pay, we would put them into a band.
okay,
So then the positions are listed in those bands instead of the opposite.
okay.
Anybody else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 4, authorize city fire department to overhire 2 firefighter positions in anticipation of retirement.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council grants authority to the fire chief to hire 2 additional firefighters above their authorized staffing levels to lessen the impact of staffing shortages based upon pending retirements to the extent that such positions have been funded in the department's budget.
Mr. Beckwith, Ms. Lane. Again, this proved to be very successful in previous, actually this past year when we had some trainings that had to come up and was good timing for that. And actually an injury, I think it was, right, chief or something, and it was actually beneficial to have those extra on. And it just, same with the police, it just takes so long to get them into that position to not have that. I think it's a prudent move. Sure. Do you have any questions? Okay, roll please.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 5, authorize professional services agreement with Cedarwood Engineering Services for the water quality improvement project at the Corwin wastewater treatment facility.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council hereby authorize Mayor Steve to enter into a service agreement with Cedarwood Engineering Services for professional engineering services to prepare technical scoping, bid documentation, and construction oversight for the water quality improvement project grant funded project at the Portland wastewater treatment facility in an amount not to exceed $212,000.
Motion. Mr. Carpenter, Mr. Beckwith. Again, so this work has actually started. This was, when we did the resolution, typically we would say and award that contracting, but we didn't do that in this, so it's a formality we have to do. And that process will help us get into, better compliance. When we get this work done, that'll be better compliance for our wastewater. So we're excited about getting this moving.
And if we don't do it, then the state comes down on us, correct?
Yes. For sure.
In case you didn't know that, get fined from the state. So, that.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter. Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
Agenda item number 6, accept and recognize donations.
Resolved that the common council hereby accepts and appropriates the donations listed below and expresses its sincere gratitude for the generosity of the donors.
Ms. Lane? Mr. Collin?
Yes,
Yes, yeah, it's great to have all these people, you know, Kerry Jenke and for Rick Jenke again to the Youth Bureau. Walmart for Shop with a Cop, I mean, Shop with a Cop's big, I don't know what our total number is, do you know, Chief? Yeah, how much funds we have and how many children we're gonna hit with that?
We are doing 60 children this year, and I'm not sure of the total funds because so much is coming in.
Right. Right.
But I think we have close to 10,000
Right.
right now.
That's awesome.
And it's-
That's great. to
A lot
hear.
of toys.
Yeah, a lot of, and, I think it gets, some good morale for our police officers too. They get to city, you know, they get to see a lot of bad with the bad and to have the good, with the good, we appreciate. You step up and running with that. So we had 2,000 from Walmart for Shop with a Cop. Rome 27 LLC for $450. John Cicerbo for $50. Sharon Torres for $300. The DAV is for $1,032. Teresa Natoli for $125. Gators and Willows Collision for $1866. Garage in Delaware for $150. Carrie Gillan for $50 and Paul Sandy for $40 for the Deer Fund. So there's good amount for Shop for the Cop there. And again, I appreciate everybody's effort on that. And all the good that those items do. So with that, I'll move it.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Conlon.
Aye.
Councilmember Carpenter.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Councilmember Michaels.
Aye.
All right, anybody else have any other questions or for the betterment or otherwise? All right, so don't forget our next meeting after that is the Christmas party, so make sure we for that, bring your spouses and significant others there, and we'll make sure that bonded the venue place over there, you have to get a snapshot of that, that'll be fun. All right, with that, we'll move it and motion to adjourn. Alan? Carpenter, in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. 37.
And Andy's lovely reading voice.
I did great.
Yeah, but he's
title.
got something very stories.
Well, is that, what happened?
Right across from the